Something about me on my day. After I rise and shine, I'm ready to shoot my shot like it was gunplay. You heard from the rest, now hear the words from the best. Who has the character and caliber of Naturesh? Something about me on my day. And when we meet, your only homework from last week is to be elite. You be discreet about the things we build upon when we speak. Dr. I, the T's and D complete to reach a peak. Something about me on my day. And when I rise to flourish, my mind is nourished with words that help me find the courage to stay on my higher purpose even when I get nervous. This is sort of like church for us, cause it's about the service. Something about me on Monday. What up, what up, what up? Shout out to Charity. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Monday Jump Off number 160. Protect the peace of your kingdom. I'm Kapresh. I hope everybody had an incredible weekend or did something productive. In the description box, I want you to click the link to Mesrurah Creation, get your US cards. Still taking in those pre-orders and just really trying to get that out there. Shout out to the whole Mesrurah clan and this production of this great cultural card game. Also, in the description is other brands like Portal, Red Feather Wellness. We have EAP Consultants and just a host of other Desiree doulas, Medicine of Essence doulas, and just a host of other people. And these are people I support, and I know that they're really dope. Sister Heharu does all the books, kids books, cultural kids books. She's in there. We got the homie Tanai out of DC. Just saw her this weekend. You know, her Real Talk business is starting to pick up, so definitely support her in that. So it's just a plethora of places you can go to get knowledge, wisdom, and better understanding of things. So all that's in the description box, and these are people I know and rock with, and they solid. So I say all that to say this. It's Monday. I'm here. It's wild. I was thinking about this a lot, but before I get into it, I want to say a very special rest in peace to Miss Robin Brandon. I had to go to DC for this beautiful, wonderful, incredible woman's funeral. And I just want to say, since I was 19, she showed me so much love. DC's like my third home. And I'll just never forget her husband's hospitality. And I sent once again via, this blog post, this virtual blog post to her daughter, Takia, good friend of mine. My condolences once again. Your mother's funeral was incredible. Miss Robin, your physical corpse looked incredible. It felt good to see the dis-ease off of her in the casket. It was a real blessing. Outfit was incredible. The whole service was solid. And it was just an honor to be present to see you off your way through the Yamenta. So it was, certain things take you back because when you're young, you think, we always think we have more time and people can live forever, but the time you have is the time you have, and the energy you put out is the energy you always get back. This woman didn't have to let me into her crib or show me no grace or ever invite me to no cookout or anything. And she did. And I always will honor her and her hospitality. I learned really good hospitality from a lot of strangers. So it seems like I go to a lot of funerals is because I know a lot of people. It's not too many places in the U.S., not too many states in the U.S. I can't go and don't know how to maneuver and know those that's in the know, right? So I've been blessed with that fortune. And it's an honor to know who I know and, you know, people's parents that always showed me love. And it's just, it's just good to see someone like that get all the love and recognition that they deserve. So definitely big salute to Mrs. Robin and to her children. My condolences and a speedy recovery to the younger brother. And I'll leave that like that. And yeah. So as I was saying, like the title, you know, protect your peace. You know, it's levels to things. There's yourself, right? And so when I'm talking about your kingdom, I'm talking about not just your home where you live. I'm talking about your actual physical. So you protect your peace by proper nutrition, proper proper thoughts. You know what you're reading, um, and who you hang around with, right? Because who we associate with is either going to bring out the worst or the best of us. So let's just start there. Association breeds similarities. You hanging around scammers, you probably doing some scammer shit too. You hanging around entrepreneurs, you're trying to become an entrepreneur, or you're trying to figure out where you want to go with that. You're hanging around healthy people, you're trying to get healthy. It's just the nature of human beings to find the tribe that you're looking for. Um, Next is so we got yourself, your association, and your mental. So everything you take in, you watching me is part of your mental health. So I always get on here with the hope that I'm putting out something positive, something that, you know, builds hope, something that builds faith in yourself, something that builds your determination, something that shows consistency. I know when my name is spoke, I want people to think of consistency, you know, dedication, strength, endurance, and resiliency. So whenever my name is uttered in this life, in the next, that's what my spirit represents, right? So when you're watching this, I hope I am a representation of those things. And that's always the goal. And I hope that you find out what your name represents to others, to the atmosphere around you, and also what would it be when you reach that transmutation and end up in the spirit realm, right? Because that's all what it is technically. We just transmuting from physical to a form that's moving at a particular light speed. Um, I know it sounds basic, but you know, never mourn if I'm living right and I accomplish my goals and I left things. You don't gotta mourn me. You know, just rock your whites, your purples, come to the funeral, come hang out. You know, play the soundtrack to my life, and go enjoy your day, and be like, you know, when you feel low, you know, I'm compressed. I gotta get consistent. I gotta get on my stuff. I gotta wake up earlier. I gotta make sure I'm doing my meditations. I gotta make sure I'm journaling. I gotta make sure I'm leading my team. You know, by being consistent. I gotta be make sure I'm guiding people in the correct way. I'm speaking accordingly at the right times, and I'm standing firm at the right times, and I'm trying to be amicable at the right times. So really got to build that peaceful kingdom for within, and so that is without is it doesn't really worry you, right? Like I care about politics because politics affect me, but I don't care about politics because politics isn't going to change my peace of mind of myself. Does that make sense? And it's one thing to care and educate yourself and even involve yourself in certain things, but you still got to keep your internal peace. And that's always where the kingdom is inside. If you can be in a room of ruckus and still have your thoughts, you know you've mastered a certain level of internal peace. If you can sit in a room in a place and somebody is telling you you're going to hell if you don't believe like them, and you can just sit there still and be peaceful and just be in the moment of what's happening, you've mastered a certain level of peace. And so always protect the peace of your kingdom. And that must become rule number one, because society is changing. You know, you got to realize they're creating these 15-minute communities. And within these 15-minute communities, there's no cars. Everything's in 15-minute walking distance that you need. That sounds more like a outdoor prison to me, but that's just how I view it. My perception of that type of inconvenience to lock you down, but you investigate it yourself. You might want to live in a community like that where you're kind of walled in, but within those walls is everything you need in a 15-minute walking distance in in north, south, east, west directions outside prison. But okay, and it has cameras and it's supposed to improve safety and the police can get there and get to anyone. You figure it out, guys. I was just looking at that this weekend, and I thought that. Well, shout out to my man Al for sending me that, and my brother Wayne. It's interesting. When I came back to NYC, two good brothers of mine, they sent me that at the same time, like within my messages, and I was like, damn. And they asked me my thought, and I was just like, that's an outdoor prison. But for some people, they might want their parents to live in it, so rock out with it. That's just my opinion of that. And going into a request of what somebody sent me, I'm in the fitness industry. So someone asked me, what are some small steps that they can take to better their life, to better their health? I would just say start drinking water every day, stretch every day, and just pick one move and do at least 50 reps, bare minimum. 50 reps, bare minimum. Um, yeah, charity, a 15-minute community, meaning everything is within your reach in 15 minutes, depending on the direction that you're walking. And it's kind of like blocked off, and you just live within that community. So you'll be able to get to the gym in 15 minutes, work in 15 minutes, grocery store in 15, and then back home in 15 minutes. So it's just something to investigate. I'm not a big fan of that. It seems like an outdoor kind of prison thing to me, but rock out. If y'all think that's the wave, go for it. But as I was saying, sister asked me some simple things. Drink at least 2 liters of water a day. Touch your toes every day. Touch your toes, move your hips. Eat good vegetables. Get yourself a good multivitamin, and really focus on your sleep. Focusing on your sleep always been tough for me. I've been doing a lot better because I take naps during the day. So I get at least a 30-minute nap every day. So that really helps like reset, but really focus on your sleep. And I think if you can do those 4 things where you're doing some kind of movement every day, it'll just go a long way for the fitness goals that you want. That way you can just start slowly chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. I think most of the time, we get so caught up with looking at Instagram, or she's doing that, or he's lifting that. You got to literally go like, damn, am I even able to get up off the couch without my knees hurting? Right? Just start where you are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And if sleep is an issue, get you some lavender, start taking hot baths, start cutting off your phone like an hour before you sleep. Stop watching the news like an hour before you sleep, and coddle up with a good book, something that make you think. And then that way, when you sleeping, you can meditate on it like that. I think that's a lot of sleep issue is we're worried about issues that's not really worried about us. Like literally somebody's right now on the phone or online going completely crazy because Donald Trump dropped a sneaker, right? But a person with a clear mind, they don't give a shit about none of that. Like that ain't gonna affect me. I ain't supporting it. But for those who do, Godspeed. But it ain't nothing for me to curse nobody out over, get upset, ruin my peace of mind over some kicks, right? It's just what it is. But there is somebody right now completely losing it, and they're not gonna be able to get to sleep. because they're worrying about an issue that really has no effect on them. And so with a lot of things, parents not sleeping well, worrying about their kids, if your kids are a good productive adult versus a regressive adult, right? And it's okay. Everybody got to choose their path. And even as that, once you did the best you could as a parent, it's nothing else you can do. So you can't really stress that. It's like you can't stress if your spouse is cheating on you or not, as long as you're being your best. Like if you're being your best, it should alleviate a lot of stress. Like I don't stress certain things. Like I tell people my goals when I'm trying to focus on, and then I zero in on that. So if it feels like I ghost or disappearing, I'm really not. I'm just focused on what I'm focused on. And then I got to get back to everything else when I get back there. And then that's it. And the concept of compartmentalizing what's most important is really what keeps you stress free. And you got to be honest about what at the top, like, when we start the top of this Gogarian year, I go like, wow, what's the 3 or 4 things most important to me? How can I maximize that? And by maximizing those 3 or 4 things, it's just like a building block. And then I go like, okay, like now I know I'm heading into spring. I know I have my 3 to 7 day seasonal fast I got to do. And then I got to keep building on those blocks that I started in January. And 2 or 3 of those blocks got checked off, but I got one more to get checked off. Then I can circle back and zero in on everything else and move in a more functional way. Because as we're doing things, we got to think about the function. And as long as the function good, everything else don't matter. Be very stress free. So that's my advice to what you do as far as fitness is concerned. You got to take small bites at your goal. And once you start taking small bites at your goal, you're going to get a lot further in your fitness. And just don't overdo it. A lot of the times, just do what you can. And to be honest, if you ain't take 5 minutes to meditate on whatever you want to do, a goal, your child, your spouse, yourself, I think you're moving incorrectly. If you ain't take 5-10 minutes to stretch or move your body today, I think you're just moving incorrectly. If you didn't write anything down, journal a thought, even write something on Facebook or the internet, something thoughtful, or something that you want to do or plan, or call or text a friend, you're kind of moving incorrectly. Correct that. You know what I mean? So you want to be in your present, and everybody present going to be different. I think we got too many people trying to yacht on the Amalfi Coast, but you really need to be sweeping in the front of your project step, cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are skipping steps, and those steps is really what builds our character and allows us to be truly who we are. And knowing who we truly are is part of your kingdom building and putting your pieces together. So another thing about keeping a piece of your kingdom is, anything that's ruinous. I mean, I don't even like talking to people who bitter, who upset. It's like, hold on. Like I always remember this. A lot of people pull this out. This is, you need to read the 48 Laws of Power, whatever. I've read this book like 4 or 5 times. You can see the underlining. I've really read it. It's not like a thing. But I always go to, ever since I got it back in, I think I read this back in 1998, 1999, something like that. No, really, like it don't matter what page I turn to. I really studied it. So I always remember law number 10. See, it's so deep, it's checked off. It's my favorite law. You know, remember, you can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. So this one here, law number 10, I think you should, if anything, pick this up, go on YouTube, check it out, add it to your mental thought, like really study it, read it through, and just review it. Because there's some good and there's some actually ain't really no good or bad. It just depends on your person, right? Like what I deem bad, I just don't do. You know what I mean? I study it so I can peep it. So, but my goal isn't to practice deception. I think I'm too raw and too honest. I'm gonna look you in the face and just tell you, nah, I'm good. I ain't gonna play no games with you. When I'm done, I'm done. I move a particular way, and you just kind of know. There ain't no secret there. But I do think like examining books like this with an honest opinion and an honest thought is just going to get you better. So definitely check that out. But if your character is fucked up or your mental ain't there and you just not there as a person, meaning like you need to eat baby food, just start with the autobiography of Malcolm X, the Four Agreements, and just test your character. You know what I mean? Perception is, I mean, the perception of good or bad, yes, it is a perception, Charity, but mm, it depends who doing it, right? Like if you running on a frequency of fuckery, right? You running on that kind of frequency, anything good is gonna be bad. Children playing, you ain't gonna like it. um, People investments and businesses growing, you're gonna hate it. It's gonna bother you. So yes, that will be that frequency of fuckery is gonna bring anything that is what we would consider good on the frequency of God shit and in personal development. It's got to be the pole opposite happening at the same time, right? And that's how you get like jealousy, envy, because jealousy is just confused and envy is just confused admiration. You know, as soon as you ever hear a person say, why them and not me, you already know that person moved from a jealous heart. Period. They've already given it away. You ain't got to question it. You understand why they life the way it is, why they lose friends the way they do, because that's really in them. And then when you meet somebody like me who be like, oh, word, he made it, applaud that brother, applaud that sister. You know what I mean? Like, I really love to see people making it at what they do. I really, really do. Even if I think it ain't the best for me, I really love people being successful doing honest, fly things, even if it's not for me, you know? And that's just how I view the world. So I mean, even as example, like she's not my peer, it's not my age group of music, but I love the transformation of the sister Glorilla, right? Like I just love her transformation. I love her new song. I think she vibing out. So for me, when I see that, I'll be like, good. She's transforming some things. She bettering herself. Whereas another person might view it, it don't matter. They just don't like it. They dislike her. Why not? Why are they not in the Maybach truck or whatever? So yes, perception of good or bad, but sometimes people are running on a frequency of fuckery versus a frequency of God shit. So if you remove the O out of good, you're gonna get God. You know what I mean? And we gotta just always move like that. So that's this Monday jump off once again. Big major. Rest well, Queen. Miss Robin. Funeral was incredible. And you'll be missed. Shout out to your husband, Nay. Thank you for always showing me love. I come back through and visit and hang out, and it's just a blessing to knowing your family for over 22 years, 21 years, or something like that. So it's just and it's just an honor to see black man, black woman hold each other down to the death, to the death, and it feels good to know that people are dying with loved ones around them. I know in this society, everybody trying to be loners. A lot of y'all are not loners. Period. Like the majority of the world, you need people. Very few of us don't really need people, and we'll be okay. However, it's gonna go down. But for the most part, get your tribe. That's part of your kingdom. Who's who and what's what. And even if you are running on a frequency of fuckery, run with that, but don't try to commingle with the people focusing on God shit. Just at least have some wherewithal about yourself and go full throttle, because that way we can just know who's who and what's what. I think in this society, everybody trying to play good or play happy, but a lot of people are angry, bitter, sad, and really depressed out here for whatever reason, and people gotta realize life gonna move forward. So all that like chasing lights, I was thinking about that. I was jogging and I was thinking about something I read when I was a real young man. I'm still young, but I was much younger. I was like maybe 22, 23 at the time. And it just basically said that the fame we have now, the fame we know now, or the fame that we loved or desire, think about how it passed like mist, right? Like there's kids that don't even know who Michael Jackson is. But in my world, Michael Jackson is the man. But to my, like, let's just say my daughter who's 5, Michael Jackson would just be like, Michael Jackson. She might be like Cardi B. Like we don't know, you know what I mean? Like you just don't know who people are gravitating to, or who's the what I'm saying is who is the next thing of fame in society. You can never call it, but everything and everyone, depending on the name that you leave behind, we all end up like the mist anyway. So all that chasing likes and this, that, and the third, man, you better be chasing your peace and your peace of your people around you and move accordingly, because society is definitely changing, and it's going to be changing in a way that I don't think most can handle. I don't think most can handle. So remember, the number one goal moving forward is to protect the peace of your kingdom. And that's all I got for tonight. I think I'm gonna stay in the 40 Laws of Power book. I want to discuss some other laws that I think you should check out. That'll just be good for you to read, and not to become a villain. But you can read it and become a villain if that's your level of understanding or your level of want. But you ain't gonna never, you know, to be honest, with that frequency, it might get you far in this world, that frequency of fuckery. But at the end of the day, you will never defeat the gods. It's just impossible. Those who are seeking a higher self will always prosper. And that's just kind of what it is. And that's the beauty of it. And it's about passing those Herculean tests of going right or going left or going straight or moving back. So, all right, everybody got to pick their own path. And remember, you're the king and queen in your life. I'm Kapresh, and this is the Monday Jump Off number 60. And I'll see you next week. Peace.